got his name, but he's like Glenn Close. I mean, you ever notice that the nicknames that I give these wackadoodles are accurate? I strive for accuracy. And so when I described him as Glenn Close, and the movie was Glenn Close and Michael Douglas and Fatal Attraction, it was not it was a very descriptive and reference. You'll notice that when I choose the nickname for these wackadoodles, is I choose it with accuracy. So, they hate listening to you until they turn the damn gun. Now laser pistol might take a little discussion, but when he first come across, he come off of VHS. He came from VHS, and he was acting like a cadet fresh out of Starfleet. Fresh out of Starfleet Academy. I mean, he had the spandex on. He had the little communicator badge. He had the utility belt with the tricorder and the laser pistol, the battery-operated laser pistol. I mean, he was, a space right out of Starfleet Academy would have fit right in at Comic-Con with his Starfleet uniform and all that. And so, I mean, it fit him to a T. And he was having difficulty dealing with the informality and, making fun of the libtards. And he really couldn't handle that. And that's how we attracted that. Now, he doesn't come around much anymore. We don't hear him much anymore. But again, it was a very accurate depiction. But anyway, we got it short. So, at the end of the description, the battery-operated laser pistol with a little LED that would light up red when you pull the trigger. And it got short, we just called him laser pistol. But the description started off with this, that he was this Starfleet space cadet, and he just couldn't deal with HF, the mannerisms. A bunch of us old coots bad-mouthing the libtards and bad-mouthing the fags on HF. He couldn't handle that, and it really got his knickers in a twist. And so, anyway, that's how he got his nickname. N5LAX.
With no Novocaine, just to listen to you.
Is that Brad I hear in there?
You mean like they'd rather get a motor pool with no Novocaine just to listen to you?
Well, maybe that would have helped if he would have, popped a stack of Oxycontin or some Valium. Maybe he should have swallowed a bottle of Valium before he came down here on HF. Because he just couldn't seem to handle it very well. I guess they didn't teach him how to handle stress too well in Starfleet Academy. He's listening to you until they turn the damn dial. You understand?
Who are we talking about, Raymond?
Oh, that was Novak, the guy that we called Laser Pistol. Brad mentioned Laser Pistol. But yeah, that was the only one that the description might not be, unless it was understood. The accuracy of the description may not be readily apparent, because that was just the end of the description. I described it. There he is. He's in his Starfleet uniform with the Federation badge and the utility belt with the tricorder and the battery-operated laser pistol with a little LED that lit up when you pulled the trigger. I mean, he was dressed up in his Starfleet uniform, but the description ended with that laser pistol, and it got shorter and shorter until we just called him Laser Pistol. N5LAX.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with Brian Novak. I've heard him a few times. He really goes off, doesn't he?
Oh, you should have heard him when he first come out here on HF. I mean, that space cadet, I mean, he was just, he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle it. He still can't handle it. If you notice that, if you're listening to him lately, if you ever run across him, I mean, what a wackadoodle, right? I mean, this guy's just a whack job. He's a libtard, fruitcake. I understand he's already been had a conviction for harassment, but yeah, he couldn't. He just didn't know what to do. This guy, and so anyway, you don't hear him much anymore, and I ain't gonna mention his call sign or anything. But yeah, Space Cadet, fresh out of Starfleet Academy, had the laser pistol and everything. N5LAX.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I heard him on here not too long ago and made sure it was the same person by looking at his QRZ page. And by the way, he was talking and he mentioned that he got a new amplifier. So there's something you guys have to look forward to. He has a brand new amplifier.
Well, you could come down here over here and burn it down for us, which is usually what squirrels do. I mean, they got, for radio jamming service, you're not going to get that in a tabletop. If you want to build one of those, I could show them how, but it's going to weigh about 400 pounds. If you wanted something to do that kind of service, you get something like Mikey has. Now, you'd never know because Mikey talks in radar pulses. He talks in 3-word blips every once in a while. He doesn't say very much. 99.9999999% of the power supply consumption will be into his bleeder string. He's got a bleeder string made out of 25K 100-watt resistors, 18 or 20 of them, and that's going to be where 99.9999% of the energy comes out of that transformer is going to that bleeder string because he talks in those radar blips. Says about 3 words at a time.
Okay, yeah. Well, I did get to hear him talk for a little while the other night. He was really going on about how he's, kind of turning over a new leaf and trying not to get involved in any heated discussions concerning politics on the air. And he talked a little bit about some of the ways he's wanting to move into a direction that he can actually enjoy amateur radio.
Well, he gave himself away as a social justice warrior on his QRZ page. Right at the bottom it said, "Stop the hate on HF." I mean, you'd have to be a lefty libtard to put that on there. Anybody that's a normal human being would be too embarrassed to put something on there that infantile.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and yeah, and he has actually displayed that kind of behavior that you just described, the personality type, and he even did that on 3840 one morning. I think 3840 kind of sent him packing. They weren't going to put up with his crap, but that was part of his reference on Stop the Hate. He does not agree with the discussions on 3840, and he believes that the 3840 group is all about hate speech, which does follow suit with the social justice warrior credo concerning anything that they don't agree with. And it can be factual, and they still won't agree with it, and they will still deem it hate speech. I've heard it done. N5UUA.
Yeah, they're social justice warriors. They have trouble with the objective reality because they live in this fantasy bubble. that they live in the narrative, and in this fantasy land, a country like Venezuela or Zimbabwe is a success. And they look at the death camps and the re-education camps. They don't seem to notice those or actually. Enemies of the people, end quote, would end up in them in the perfect world that they would envision. They have trouble with objective reality because it refutes their fantasy, their socialist fantasy. If history has condemned it over and over and over again, it never works. The results are always disaster. And so they have to retreat from their reality into this lefty narrative bubble. And they get really annoyed when their lefty narrative bubble gets intruded upon. Yeah, let's see. I've been on the radio since I was like 9 years old. I bet that's like 51 years on the radio. Imagine that. 50. These squirrels ain't exactly something new. You notice Fatal Attraction, the pressure behind its lyrics and the emotional content there. You got to talk about these creatures where the notion of self-restraint is incoherent. So he's going to come out here, he couldn't resist, he's going to put the dunce cap on his head and parade around in front of the adults. Come out and do a dance for us there, weird person. Desperation, the excitement level.
Are you saying that Raymond will dish it out but won't take it? Is that what I'm hearing? While you were keyed up, I got slapped on the hand. I better stop now. Is that so? Hey, Raymond, is this the same guy that you stated was playing recordings the other night?
Yeah, same guy, yeah.
Go get your call letters out, dude. I got the call sign. Ha ha. You're the idiot. Leader of the pack. You're the idiot. Well, I'm not going to give it out, though. That's the fun of it. I'm kind of enjoying this. This is quite the show this evening. All right, Nellie.
I was noticing the pressure behind the lyrics, and the excitement level. The interval was running 2 and 3 seconds between.
I thought you said you...
As I said, Glenn Close, Fatal Attraction, or the little song with Olivia Newton-John, Hopelessly Devoted thing.
Let me ask, what is the attraction in Raymond Moyers? Your attraction is your...
He got a damaged ego, somehow damaged his, slighted his manhood or something, or he just wears it all over him. He came up here, he's trying to come out here and have a pecker contest with first, and he just, well, evidently he doesn't like it.